Okay, I think we are live and running. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to the South Australian NT EPSON Professional Photography Awards. We are in the afternoon session of day one. We've had a fantastic morning. So this afternoon, we are judging the illustrative category, sponsored by our friends at Panasonic. Thank you, Panasonic. We all love our Panasonic gear, don't we? Okay, so my name is Louise Bagger. I am your panel chair for this session, and sitting next to me, panel chair assistant, is Kate Ellis. And we would also like to acknowledge out the back, we have Diana, Nicole, Beck and Sam. Just show us your faces, guys. Show us your faces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's Diana? She's not there. Okay, she's hanging. We couldn't do this without our print handlers, so thank you very much to all of you. In fact, there's a lot of people we couldn't do this without. Right, so the illustrative category. The illustrative category aims to be commissioned or self-commissioned. A caption of up to 50 words may be provided to assist the judges in assessing your entry. So polyptychs. There we go. Diptychs, triptychs are permitted. I had to get that one right. So just so everyone's aware, so new for the illustrative category this year is that entrants do have the option to provide a caption. So I will read that caption to you, which will help to bring everything together in the concept of the image. So I'll hang on to that one. Right. So if we are all ready, print handlers are ready, let's go for the first print, please. Okay. Digitised solargraph alternative process documenting the passage of the sun and local cloud cover during a 6-month-long single exposure. So again, digitised solargraph alternative process documenting the passage of the sun and local cloud cover during a 6-month-long single exposure. Okay, we do have an average of 80, but majority is 79. So hang on. Okay, and we have a challenge from Mark Z.
Yeah, look, I strongly believe that this. Yep. So I scored this an 86 because I want to see it solidly be rewarded. The forethought in composition when capturing something like this is extraordinary, and to be able to predict those lines running through the frame so beautifully, offset by that tower coming up, is a great composition. It's absolutely beautiful. I know it's not probably the most visually, standout image that we're going to see in this category, but I really feel that the entrance preconception and execution goes well beyond just your average professional practice.
Thank you, Mark. Laurie, you're on the other end of the scale at 77. Could I have a comment from you, please?
So I've scored it in the professional practice. I guess for me, I was sort of looking for something a little bit more than professional practice to be able to step it over the line. So yeah, I'm interested in hearing some comments further to Yeah.
All right, Clayton's got his hand up. Clayton, go ahead. Thank you.
Yeah, I was dazzled by the title, if nothing else. And but yeah, look, so I've sat on the fence with 78 because I sort of need some convincing, and I think Mark, you've probably done a decent job of doing that, of pushing the score up on it, because I can see merit, but I guess photographically, in pure traditional terms, I look at a photograph, you know, it's probably lacking a few things, but you know, I'm impressed with what foresight's gone into it, as you've mentioned.
All right, got some interesting conversation going. Gary, you'd like to offer a comment?
Look, I think just the sheer challenge of trying to show a passage of time in a single image. How do you even put that together to come up with a 6-month duration of anything in a single image? I think that expression has come through with this passage of this linear track and this linear arc, and then it's grounded with some earth elements as well. So I think the two things working together warrant an award image. Yeah.
Mark, your right of reply.
Yeah, look, the more I think about the creation of this image, the more I love it, because the risks taken by the photographer when setting this image up are huge. So we don't know whether that tree branch is going to fall, whether it's going to move to the point where it absolutely destroys the image, but it's a vital part of the composition that's offset by the electricity tower. The nature of the light coming through as well, from the broken to the solid and wispy. Compositionally, it's really quite beautiful. So I'd love to see this rewarded with, at the very least, a silver, but I'd be very happy for you guys to meet me at an 85, because I think this is a silver distinction.
Thank you for that. Okay, Mark, you will hold your score. Other judges, please rescore. And we are at an 83 silver award. Fantastic. Congratulations to the photographer. What a great way to start the category. Thank you very much. And we'll have next print, please. Okay, aerial landscapes are popular, but how high do you need to be? This illustrative abstract is taken at 1.5 metres above the landscape like rivulets of water and their residual effect on concrete created by the runoff from the commercial washing of carrots for coals. So just again, aerial landscapes are popular, but how high do you need to be? This illustrative abstract is taken at 1.5 metres above the landscape like rivulets of water and their residual effect on concrete created by the runoff from the commercial washing of carrots for coals. You hit, oh, yep. And this scores a 78. And we have a hand up from Ben. Ben would like to challenge.
Did you guys see the carrot? Because I was looking for the carrot. Because of the description that was out, and it's there. It's like there. It's like, it looks like a little carrot, and so I thought that was pretty smart. And there's little bits of residual carrot all around the place as well. The only thing that really gives this away that this is 1.5 meters high is that little highlight down the bottom right. Other than that, it could be a couple of 100 meters high. I would have no idea. I think it's really smartly and cleverly done.
Okay, so we've got Gary. Gary, you're sitting on 77.
Yeah, I'm still trying to find some rhyme or reason in here around what's going on within the picture. I'm trying to find something to hook me and grab me and even just ground me for some part of reality, because after that it's more or less an exercise in abstract. So. Yeah, and I know, Ben, you mentioned the little hint of carrot, but even then, with the caption, that doesn't come through strongly enough. So this is an interesting exercise between the caption and the content. There are some tonal variations too in the white areas that are a bit intriguing. It's central and white through the middle and dropping off on the sides. So, yeah, I'm still just trying to find some more things in there to grab hold of me. And I haven't got them.
All right. Ben, you do have your right of reply.
I gave this an 84. I believe it is a silver award, mainly because of that carrot. There is a little carrot in there. It's not huge, but it's most definitely in there, whether it's actually part of a carrot or something meant to look like a carrot. The thing that grabs me, I guess, is that might be the only thing. Technically, I'm not too fussed, with that. Yeah, I've got nothing else really to add. I just think it should be a silver.
Thank you for that. All right, Ben, you'll hold on 84. Could the other judges please rescore? Okay, well, it has come up 1 to 79. So congratulations on coming up 1 point. So at State Awards, we don't go to review. If this was at our National Awards, it would go to review, but not so at State. But you just never know your luck when you go to Nationals. Okay, thank you for that. And we'll have the next print, please. At sunrise, Eddie clasps onto the nest with hope. The aviators and the pelicans scan the skies for Maggie. At sunrise, Eddie clasps onto the nest with hope. The aviators and the pelicans scan the skies for Maggie. Okay, so we do have an average of 80, but the majority we are at 79. And I'm seeing some shakes of heads here. Okay, so I'm going to, Mark, is that a challenge? Okay, give me a good, so judges, give me a good hands up if you want a challenge. It really helps massively. So Mark, you are on 86, so I'm going to take Mark's challenge.
As far as a whimsical composite goes, this is absolutely gorgeous, and this is a great timeless bedroom print that a kid's going to treasure forever and ever. The caption, I think, has let it down, so I'm trying hard to judge it as just an illustrative print without the caption, because I don't think it needs it. I'd rather draw my own conclusions with the story, because there is so much going on within the nature of the print, and the the technicalities are almost flawless. There's not a lot at all, and normally these types of things I struggle with because I start to pick apart the technical deficiencies, which I'm just not seeing much of here at all. So for me, I want to, I'm experiencing stories for myself here. I'm going on the adventure with the children. I love the color tones, the palettes, the styling, the choice of background colors versus the balloon color. This has been well designed from scratch and built up. So I would love to see this in the silver range.
Okay, and Gary, you're on the other end of the scale at 76.
Yeah, I saw it quite differently, Mark. So this is going to be a bit of fun, I think, because I picked up inconsistencies in lighting direction. That was the thing, because I loved the idea of the concept of flying away. Sounds like a great idea, but in terms of direction and lighting on especially the two figures inside the balloon, they're completely inconsistent with actually the prime light source being on the horizon below. So they actually didn't. For me, they didn't gel together in terms of how the two things, those elements come together to make up the whole. So, that for me, that they kind of still look studio-y and sort of really do look kind of dropped and comped in. So that was the only bit where I kind of got really a bit disappointed. So, that was where I came from with it.
All right. Clay, you'd like to give a comment?
Yeah, look, just quickly, I sort of love the idea and the concept of the shot, but I got stuck on the technical sides of it as well. From a dawn shot, the lighting's coming from all directions. So, yeah, I really sort of struggled with the technicalities of this image, which is why I sort of dropped it down. But I want to be talked up because I can see there's fun, there's feeling about it. But, yeah, I'm just struggling with the technicalities on it. But please respond. So.
Okay, Mark, your right of reply.
Sure, this is clearly a comp shot. This isn't trying to pretend like it's being anything else except for a beautiful storybook image. And we don't need to have totally agree. Particularly the highlights in the balloon is very studio light, but does that matter? Is it still? Should we take away from that? Because for me, it's not pretending to have any ounce of realism in this shot whatsoever. I love the feel, I love the play, I love the colour palette, the choices made, the construction is there. I'd love to encourage the entrant by bumping it up into the silver range.
Okay, well, Mark, you will hold on 86 if the other judges could please rescore. Great work, judges. We are now 82 at a silver award. Fantastic. What a great way to start this category. How fantastic. Love the conversation. We will have the next print, please. George, can you step in? No. Bender, can you step in, please? In 3. We are judging the illustrative category, proudly sponsored by Panasonic, for the 2019 EPSON South Australian Northern Territory Professional Photography Awards. We have a solid silver at 84. Congratulations to the photographer. That is a fantastic result. Now, can I get a quick comment, please, from Ben?
Cool picture. The presentation, I haven't seen anything like that before with the layers. Really messing with your with the depth and all that sort of thing. This is a happy robot that's processing the world around her. Amazing execution from like the photo, the tattoo on the side. Sort of matches with everything. I think in my head, the story matches up. Beautiful.
Thank you. And we will have the next print, please. Bender, you can stay on. No caption. And we have a silver award at 84. Congratulations. Now, Bender, you actually did score it very nicely on an 88. Would you like to give comment to this image? Just grab your microphone there.
Thank you. Yes, I really like the balance of the composition between the the empty distant sky and the actual detailed texture of the zebras, and I really like the contradiction between their curvy lines with their straight unicorn horns, as well as that soft lines and horizontals in the background. As a composition, I think it had many different elements that took you all around the picture and made it very, very pleasant.
Wonderful.
Very interesting.
Thank you very much for that. And we will have the next print, please. And of course, we thank our friends at Marden Senior College for hosting us for the next couple of days, to Malcolm and his crew. And also a little shout out to, so after the awards, we are having an exhibition which is proudly sponsored by the Centre for Creative Photography, and we appreciate their involvement every year. We have an 81 silver award. And we have a challenge from Ben Liu, who's sitting on 87. So Ben, you've got an 83, an 82, a 77 and a 76.
Oh, I only got an 81.
You got an 81.
I'm really surprised. Have you ever seen a sheep in this pose before? Sense of accomplishment, it's just shorn itself. It's fantastic. such a clever little image. Wish I knew how it was taken. Just the pose. Wow.
Okay, Laurie, I'm going to get a comment from you, please.
It's awesome, the pose. Given that it's an illustrative image, those windows really took me away, and I wished that those windows weren't there and something was done to handle that, because otherwise it's got a beautiful commentary on it, could be used in as an ad. I was getting the vision of it being, accomplishment. So, yeah, that's what held me back from an award.
So, Gary?
Yeah, I'll give you a hand, Ben, with a couple of things. To me, this is the idea of the sheep saying, I'm a bit pissed off at what's happened. I don't really like being shorn, it sort of knocks me round a bit, but you know what? I'll come back and I'll give it another go. So there's no shearer in there or anything. It's just, this is what's happened to me today. It sort of annoys me a bit, but I'll be back next week. There's the spinning wheel just hanging around, just annoying me a little bit. Yeah, because that sheep's huge. It's kind of, and it looks like it's been kind of stripped of its bits as well. So all the chest and body have got that sort of skeletal bits hanging out on it as well. So yeah, it's an interesting comment on how we treat domestic animals as well. So I was on 83. I was a little bit behind you there, Ben, but yeah, we might get a few more people along somewhere else.
Well, with the sheep's bits and everything else, Ben, you'll hold your sheep on 87. But you do have a right of reply before we do that.
I've been taking notes because I've got a terrible memory. So I guess there's a bit of a story here on, it's almost automation, but it's like self-automation. The sheep's done itself now. Perhaps it's a bit of a story, a narrative on global warming. Who knows? You guys are going to share me on the calendar date, but it's getting hot. I need this off now. The story is just so cool. And I keep on looking at it. I hear what you're saying, Laurie, about the window. The window on the right didn't bother me so much. I think it needed to be there because of the light. The one in the top left did bother me. So I completely agree with you there.
All right. So, Ben, holding on 87, if everyone else can rescore, please. And we are still on silver at 83. Congratulations. Great conversation. So I'm just going to have a quick judge change. Ben, if you can hop out. Peter Barnes, can you come and join us, please? And we will have the next print, please. Okay. Yep. No, just change it. Leave it on Peter, because I'll get Peter straight back in. So just leave it there. That's fine. That's okay. Yeah. Because I'm going to take him straight out again afterwards. So if I'm just doing a quick step in, just a quick step in. Yeah. When it's just a quick step in, and then it's just a quick step in, and then I'll take George out again. And this print scores a 79. Clay, can I grab a comment from you, please?
Look, I was on the low end. Look, I'm struggling a bit to want. I want to add something positive in there, but I'm sort of struggling a bit because it's just. Sorry, probably not the best person for this one.
Hang on just a sec before you do get. Oh no. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Yep, go ahead.
Look, in terms of the pastel nature of the image, which is a beautiful part of this picture, it's kind of overshadowed a little bit by the darker tones being heavier with more weight. I think if we wanted to get that lovely pastel flow right through the image so that it was softer and more tonally lighter in the darker tones, it would probably have been a bit more effective.
Did you want to say something quickly, Laurie, or you're on?
Only that I saw the birth of Venus and Botticelli's mostly, and the story for me was the actual water being the source of life.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you for that. George, I'll get you to hop off again. Peter, if you can hop on. And we will have the next print, please. The caption for this is Puppet to Power. Okay. Yeah. Ben, can you hop on for this one just quickly, please? Yeah, just this one. Yeah. So this print does score an 80, but is a majority 79. Are we all happy? We've got a hand up here from Clay, and he wants to challenge. Go right ahead. Actually, we are now, Bender, you are on 86, so I'm kind of might actually go for Bender's challenge, if that's all right, Clay. I'm going to go for the positive on this one, so go right ahead, Bender. So, Bender, you're on 86. You've got an 85, 74, 78, and a 77.
Okay. I saw the humour in this and the irony, and I like the way it. I just like the play with the figure and the story that relates to the money that's associated with it, and the broken rope that sits in it. Compositionally, I think it works beautifully. The broken rope, one of the ties to her arm, it's all starting to fall apart. We could relate it to a whole lot of modern economic stories today. But the humour and the clown disassociates a little bit, which makes it fun and irony. I just think it's ironic, and it has a sense of humour about something that's very serious.
Laurie, I'm going to ask for a comment from you, please.
Yeah, thank you for that. I guess for me, it was more from back here. You can see that it's got some really vibrant colours, and it's almost like a bit of a cartoon. So you can see that there's a bit of comedy in it. However, when you get up close, and we are in the illustrative category, I was really let down by the actual finessing of it. It lacks the finesse to be able to bring it up to that award level, sadly.
All right, so Clay, I will get a comment from you.
Yeah, look, I couldn't probably agree more, really. Yeah, I think it's been really well handled. I think the fact that they've stripped out the shadows just gives it even more strength to the character. I hadn't seen the broken rope, but when you mentioned it, it almost pushes it up higher for me. I think technically it's been handled really well with all that negative white space. And certainly the caption that goes along with it, and just the fun and the vibrancy of that image is quite powerful and meaningful for Illustrative.
Okay, Bender, you do have a right of reply.
Yeah, yes, I'd just like to reinforce the novelty of it, but it's like I said, an ironic novelty, and the notes and the legs and the arms and the whole play all over the actual composition, I think worked really well together.
All right, thank you. Well, Bender, you will hold on 86 if the other judges could please rescore. And we have come up to an 81 and a silver award. So that's great conversation there. Thank you. Yep, Gary, if you can hop back on now. So, okay, Bender, I'm going to ask you to hop off, please. And George, would you like to join us, please? And we will have the next print, please. Laurie, have you got yours in? Just got to refresh the system here. Right, we do have a silver award at 83. Congratulations to the photographer. Well done. That is absolutely fantastic. Laurie, I'd love to get a comment from you, actually.
Yeah, I scored it a little bit higher than a silver, so sadly I can't really add too much more. But it is a really beautiful commentary on the female's perspective of how we need to perfect ourselves and make things different. So I thought it was really lovely in terms of the way it's been described.
Lovely. Thank you very much for that. Now, before we go on, I'm just going to do a quick judge change. We are going to have, hang on, who's coming off? Who are we? No one needs to come off. Sorry, hang on. Yeah, Laurie, I'm going to give you a bit of a break. Mark, can you join us again, please? Fantastic. And can we have the next print, please? Digitised solar graph alternative process documenting the passage of the sun and local cloud cover during a 6-month-long single exposure. So we should be right now until here. So George will have to come off. We have an 81 and a silver award. Absolutely fantastic. Clay, can I get a comment from you for this print, please?
The title that comes along with it. Look, composition-wise, structure, everything works about this. I think I scored at 85. It's a really, really outstanding image. I liked it a lot. Thought it was worked exceptionally well.
Fantastic. Thank you for that. And we will have the next print, please. Appreciating the artistic charm of the mundane, which is often overlooked. Appreciating the artistic charm of the mundane, which is often overlooked. So I just have to leave it as it is for now. That's fine. And this print scores a 77. Okay, I do have a challenge here from Mark. Now, judges, if you want a challenge, give me that hand up in the air. Make it loud and clear. Let's all hear it. Mark, you go right ahead.
Yeah, look, very straightforward photograph. I'll get that up straight up, and I get it because I kind of really wrestled with it in my head, but the humour in it, the little implied smiles through those eyes, and just the repeating on who knows how long this mundanity has been going on or will go on, and it just seems like those little door handles are just that bemused smile of, just mundanity going on and on and on forever. So I found I wanted to reward the element of humour found and portrayed through this, as well as the interesting composition that they've chosen to have only one of those kind of like little smiley faces, but the two either side going on, leading you to wonder how long has this gone on. That's yeah. So I would like to see the entrant rewarded for just seeing it just slightly differently.
All right. George, can I grab a comment from you, please?
Yeah, I was very torn with this image as well. I really wanted to give it an award silver. What held me back was when I went up closer. Nothing held me there when I got close to it. But then once I sat back in my chair and listening to you, I do see those elements. It's a really unique way of seeing something. And I'm definitely listening.
Mark, you do have your right of reply.
Yeah, great. Look, I really think that the entrant should be rewarded, and we should be rewarding entrants for looking differently and rewarding us with those little smirks and smiles. Like, some days, those days do go on forever and you just feel like another square in a hole. But when you get a little smile out of it, I think we need to reward it, and that's what this does for me.
Fantastic. Well, Mark, you will hold on 82 if everyone else can rescore, please. Oh, and we have come up to a 78, so still not quite there, but great conversation and fantastic feedback for the photographer. So thank you very much, judges. And we will have the next print, please. This print scores a 79. And I do have George's hand up in the air for a challenge. George, you're on 84. So I'm just going to let you know you've got an 81 and then you've got a 76, 76, 77. So go right ahead.
So looking at this from a illustrative point of view, seeing that it's there to communicate a story. I think the photographer's done an exceptional job doing that. I love the almost retro feel of this image, the colours of the plastic and how they've used the green moving into the wave. The yellow sun, it could almost be used as a graphic on a t-shirt to sell a story and communicate that. So I'm really rewarding that aspect of it.
Okay. Peter, I'm going to ask for a comment for you. You're on 77.
Yeah, I like the way this has been made. It's obviously professional practice, but for an award, there needs to be superior levels of communication, and I'm not sure that they're there. I'm confused about why the wave all of a sudden turns white. I'm confused by what's happening on the front of the board there. They don't make sense to me, and that means that the photographer's failing to communicate something to me. Or I'm failing to understand it. One of the two.
All right. So Mark's busting for a comment here. You're in a silver range too. Go ahead.
Yeah, excellent. And look, I held it in the low silver range because I understand there are some technical deficiencies in this. But as far as communication goes, this is great. This is riding the wave of consumerism. He's surrounded by the trash bags of all of the toys that are, he's riding through just a couple of his toys, but he's got a whole bunch of them up the front of his surfboard. And having a young one, you go through a lot of toys. It's consumerism and the breaking of those white waves. It's a breaker. So you expect the wave to go from blue into white as it breaks and crashes over this young individual that's going to emerge into adulthood, having ridden this wave of consumer programming. So for me, the storytelling is impeccable. It's the execution that has kept me in the low silvers. But I just wanted to...
So Gary just actually wanted to give a quick comment there.
Yeah, I was trying to get the feel of the ocean. Okay, it didn't feel oceanic to me, and I guess I probably get in the ocean a bit. So I saw, and he kind of didn't feel like he fit. He was fitting right. He sort of looked a bit too well heeled. I don't know. I was trying to grab this comment, and it's a clear comment about consumerism and plastics and ocean, but I didn't get the ocean. I got the plastic, but I didn't get the ocean, even though there's a strong wave shape there. So, and I think that yellow probably contributed to that as well, as to getting that oceanic feel. And we can do anything here. So, yeah, that was the only thing that stopped me going higher, because I got the comment on plastic in the ocean, but it wasn't strong enough for me.
All right, George, your right of reply.
So, yeah, I feel it's not meant to feel harmonious, like you're looking at a real image. It's meant to give you a bit of jarring sensation of why is he oblivious to this, to riding this wave of plastics and consumerism. And as time goes on, it might crush him, but he is unaware of that, and that's what I read into it. So I really like the composition, and those storytelling elements. So I really want to reward the photographer for that.
All right. Well, George, you will hold on 84 if the other judges could please rescore. Oh, we are at an 81 silver award. Well done, judges. Fantastic. That is a great result. Thank you so much for your hard work. And we will have the next print, please. No titles. Can I give Clay a break? How's he going? Okay. I think we're going to run out. We're going to run out. Yeah, leave him on. All right, so leave him. There's a bit of a messy bit here. Okay. All right. And this print scores a 79. Gary, would you like to give a comment for this print, please?
Yeah, it could have been shot last week or last century, and that was the look and feel, and some interesting characters in the background. I was at 83. I was hoping I had someone else there with me, and I can't challenge either. So, and I'm sure these guys here may have perhaps looked at some tonality differences on the edges as well as being things that might have crept in. But yeah, it's interesting picture. I'd love to see some more of these. Yeah, can we just look at these this afternoon? No, I just made that up. There you go. There we go.
Thank you. Get really, really quick, Mark.
Taking this to APPA, get rid of that vignette.
Okay. Thanks very much for your comments, guys. And we will have the next print, please. Digitised solar graph alternative process documenting the passage of the sun and local cloud cover during a 6-month-long single exposure. Laurie, can you hop in for this one, please? And this print scores a 79. I would love to get a comment. I've got Gary's raising his eyebrows, so go ahead.
Up at the G end of the ground, yeah. I thought I was looking at one of those 1950s atomic blast images here. Those buildings don't even look real. It's an interesting picture. Again, the sun's in charge. There's these silly buildings in there trying to make a bit of a statement, but they're pretty much insignificant compared to the rest of the game. So, yeah, a little bit of a comment on, the sun's in charge and we're just hanging around. Well done.
Thank you. So I was going to do a little judge swapsy before, so it just came a little bit sooner. So actually, Laurie, if you can hop in where George is. Peter, if you can come back on, please. And we will have the next print, please. Okay, so Ben, can you hop in for this one, please? We'll just leave it at that. I'll get them back straight back after. So just a reminder for our Adelaide crowd, we do have tickets still available for our awards presentation on Tuesday evening. So hop onto the AIPP website, onto the events page, and come along to the Adelaide Bowls Club. Bare feet and all, bare feet bowling will be happening. This print scores an 81 and is a silver award. Fantastic result. I would love to get a comment from Peter, please. With the microphone.
With the microphone. This is a lovely idea, brilliantly executed. I think just the way it very simply conveys the whole story of how we get honey on our toast in the morning is just beautifully done. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. That's fantastic. Now, do we need to swap anyone up? That's good. All good. Okay, and no, Mark's just coming back. Yep. And we will have the next print, please. Mm. Sorry, yes, we do have a caption. Eddie and his brothers search for his beloved friend with the help of the navigators and the pelicans. And this print is a solid silver 84. Oh, we got some judges going, oh, darn it. That's okay. Really, really great scoring across now. So come on, Laurie, did you want to give it a comment?
Yeah, it's
Come
just
on.
so luscious. It's exquisite. It's pin sharp. It's got beautiful storytelling. The colours are beautiful. Well done to the photographer. Well deserved.
Thank you for that. That was great to see your faces when that came out. And now, so we need to go back with, so yeah. Yep. And we will have the next print, please. Okay. Not so many comments. Okay. Ben, are you happy to step on for this one? A lot of toing and froing with this category. Yes. Yeah, so he should have known. Yeah. We do have an 81, a silver award. And I've got a nod here from Clay who would like to challenge. So Clay, you are on 88. Take it away.
Yeah, look, I think this is an outstanding image. You know, the composition is really impressive. The negative space at the top, so balanced by the bottom. And just to look at it from here, it's an outstanding image. But when you go up and you see the other characters, that the horses and the feeling, the extra depth that adds is quite amazing. And it's a really significant image in what it's done with its simple composition, but yet such layered depth to it at the same time. And the muted tones are just beautifully handled. And I think, like, I hear a lot of comments about don't vignette. And here's someone I think who's taken a bold decision to let the sky go, but that white works perfectly balanced against the foreground. And I think it's an image that really deserves a second look and pushed up a bit in the scores, which is certainly where I was pushing it towards. But thank you.
Mark, I'd love to get a comment from you, please.
Yeah. Thanks, Clay. And I was really struggling with the top of the image. And to tell you the truth, I still am. The transitions between those, and they're midtones, but they're almost hanging out in that shadow zone with the really muted tones just above the fence line. If it was a bit of a softer transition into those highlights, and that background was all maybe a little bit lighter, I may have been able to reconcile the void of the sky in my head a little bit better. The image might have come together a little bit, but I really love what's going on in the background. So I'd love to hear a bit more, because I'm still wrestling with.
No. So I'm gonna go back to Clay for your right of reply.
Oh, good, Mark. We seem to be on the same page there. Look, I can't emphasise enough that I think this sky has been handled really well, and I think the transition to that lighter tone has been done, for my mind, quite deliberately, and I say quite appropriate to the image. And it would be so tempting just to, I think if you took that to a white, it would just be too stark. So I think the level that it's positioned at there is so well balanced against the foreground. And you look at that central composition and the arc, the tree. It's a outstanding composition. And then with the depth of those other characters that are muted back there, it's beautifully created.
All right. So Clay, you will hold on 88. If everyone else can rescore, please. The original score was 81. We're still in silver, but 84, so a good solid silver. So congratulations to the photographer. So Ben, if you want to hop back, and Peter, if you come back on. And we will have the next print, please. Where's my next change going to be? I think I need to change the Clay over. I really need to give Clay a break. Are you going okay, Clay? You're right? Okay, all right. Okay, all right. So who's next? Yep. Right, good. Actually, I might even do it after Diana. Yeah, I'll do it. And this print scores an 83 and is a silver award. Congratulations to the photographer. Good scoring. So, Laurie, would you like to give a comment?
Congratulations to the photographer. If you're thinking about taking this to APPA, I'd say have a look at those blacks in the veil. The image is quite an ethereal, soft image. Those black shadows are really quite strong and heavy, so maybe revisit those and give it another go.
All right, fantastic. Thank you for that. And we will have the next print, please. Okay, so who's going off? George is back on. George has got to come off here. Shit. Hmm. So Ben has to go. He's right. And this print scores a 79. Now, Clay, could I get a comment from you, please?
Yeah, I scored it at 82. I thought it was easily into the silver range. I thought the composition was excellent. The layering, the image, the blurring, but yet the sharpness in there, the colouring, the muted tones, but yet the brightness of the green was really made for a lovely, appealing image. And applaud the photographer.
Fantastic, thank you for that. So I'm just going to have a quick judge change. Mark, if you step off, George, can I get you on, please? And we will have the next print, please. Digitised solargraph alternative process documenting the passage of the sun and local cloud cover during a 6-month-long single exposure. This print does score a 77. Okay, that's fine. So we will keep the score of 77. Clay, go right ahead.
I mean, I scored it at 82, and I guess the comment I want to make is that the title, correct me if I'm wrong, Louise, has been the same for each of these 4 that have come up. And for me, the first one that came up was probably the weakest in composition and structure, but, you know, I was unaware what else was coming, and so I could see the value in it. But, you know, from my opinion to the photographer, if they happen to be here, is I think the next 3 that came up, and particularly this one, is the strongest of the composition, and the overall look is more appealing, and, you know, perhaps could do better in AIPPP, but that's just my opinion, and reflected in my scoring of 82 on it.
Thank you for that. So, judges, just reminding you that you are talking about the print that is in front of you, not any prints that may have come before. So you are scoring and speaking to the print that is in front of you here. So just be mindful of that. Okay, thank you very much for that, and we will have the next print, please. So this is an average of 80, but we are majority 79 on this print. And is that a challenge? Yep. So just big hand up there for me, Clay. Fantastic. So Clay, you are going to challenge. You are on 88. So go right ahead.
Yeah, look, I scored at 88. I thought it was beautifully executed. The composition is just outstanding. The reflection of the stripes in the majority of the background, but yet it's handled so delicately. The composition of the zebra on the left and the lower, and the look and the shape that sort of leads into it. Look, my eye just doesn't get tired looking at it, and I think when you can look at something and just see more and keep going around in circles and come back to a beautiful composition and exquisite use of the tones, then it's right up there for an award image.
Gary, can I get a comment from you, please?
Yeah, the repetition of pattern was clearly evident. I suppose the rump on the far right hand side of the animal for me was just kind of really dominant in terms of the rest of the whole structure of the image, because the repetition idea is fantastic. It's quite a different picture once you look at it tonally without that bit. But look at, those animals have that's part of their body as well. So, I'm still listening to other judges on this one. That was my only sort of bit that sort of pulled me away from it, because it's fairly dominant. That was all. The other bits are quite well done. So, and that's what we're presented with. So, yeah.
So, Clay, I'm going to ask for your right of reply on this.
Yeah, look, interesting observation. I guess it all it does for me is send my eye more towards the head of the animal, off to the repetition and back to the animal. And I think, look, I can't say that it's not there, because clearly it is, but I find it's not distracting, and yet maybe that's a good thing, because it reflects what real nature is as compared to what perhaps sometimes we think it perhaps should be or might want it to be.
All right, well, Clay, you will hold on 88. If the other judges could please rescore. Oh, well done, judges. We've come up to 82 and a silver award. Fantastic. Congratulations to the photographer. Great conversation. Thank you for challenging that one, Clay. So I'm just going to have a quick judge change. So, George, if you can hop off. And Bender, can you hop on for me, please, in position 2. And we will have the next print, please. The last 9 months expressed in microscopy. It's my good medical words. The last 9 months expressed in microscopy. We can get your scores, thanks, judges. And this print scores a 78. And we've got a hand up from Laurie, who's going to challenge. Laurie, you're on 84, so we have 78, 78, 76, 76. The floor is yours.
You get under my skin. I've looked at those images, seeing skin and the reactions of skin and the interactions of a relationship and how that relationship gets under your skin. That's how I've interpreted. That's the way I read it all the way through. Yeah, look, I thought it was very clever in terms of looking at an idea and how to express it in a way that I have never seen before. It looks very scientific. It's got a very varied sort of style of looking at things. And it also gives me that interpretation of being quite open about looking at things. Yeah, look, I've given it a very strong silver, and the average score was
78.
78. So we're very close. So I would invite everyone to have a look at that and have that sort of idea perhaps in your mind while you're looking at it and see what you see, because I'm sure there's a lot more to it.
Gary, I'm going to get a comment from you, please.
Yeah, it took us all a while to absorb this because there's interrelationships to try and piece together here. And some of them are strong, and some correlations are strong between the caption and the image, and others actually don't fit together. That's where I was not going too much further, because there's some moments of rage that look calm in their palette and colour balance. So, yeah, there were bits that fell nicely, and then there were other bits that didn't. So I had to sum up the parts and put that together and come up with a final summation. Yeah.
So, Peter, really, really quick. So I'll just get one more comment there from Peter.
Brilliant idea, well executed, but with Gary, for me it fell down in terms of visual communication because those images didn't match the captions in the way that I think they should.
All right. Laurie, you do have your right of reply.
Yeah, and that's really interesting that you guys both raised that, because when we're looking at relationships and we're trying to analyse things, we interpret it in our own, the way we've interpreted life, basically. So this was almost like looking at something in a very different way in somebody's interpretation of it, which is perhaps could be different to your interpretation of how you deal with emotions and relationships and the way that it goes up and down, and that maybe it's opened up them to look at things differently as well. So yeah, it was a very complicated and complex sort of analysis of something that I found very interesting and intriguing. So I wanted to congratulate the photographer on their
Well,
their
Laurie,
aspect.
you will hold on 84 if everyone else can rescore, please. We are on 80, a silver award. So congratulations, well done. Great conversation there. Thanks, judges. And we will have the next print, please. Okay. So I'll get Mark. No. Mark, can I get you to on this one, please? So this is an average 79, however, majority 80. We are a silver award. Congratulations to the photographer, that's fantastic. And I'm going to get a comment from Mark.
Come so far to chop off the fingers. It's really disconcerting that This is a superbly executed concept, but chopping through those fingers and also the black underwear, I think, lose it, and then you've got something really special about to come out of this print. So
That's great. Thank you for that. So I think, am I going to keep the judges where they are? Yeah. So Mark, stay where you are there. Hang on. Whoop. I'll just do. Just hang on, sec, judges. And we will have the next print, please. Some friends touch your heart in ways you cannot erase. So I need to swap Gary back with George. This print scores a 79. And we're all happy with that. Fantastic. Can I get a comment, please, from Peter?
I love the relationship between the magpie and the bunny. A smile came to me as soon as I saw it, because it's such a unlikely relationship, except that it's pictured and communicated so well here. Congratulations to the photographer.
That's fantastic. Thank you. So I'm just going to have a quick judge change. So Gary, I'll give you a break. Yep. George, can I get you to pop back on, please, now? And we will have the next print, please. Hong Kong. Dense high-rise buildings, even as new, do not take long to succumb to mould, ageing and deterioration, fulfilling Corbusier's inspiration of little boxes. Hong Kong. Dense high-rise buildings, even as new, do not take long to succumb to mould, ageing and deterioration, fulfilling Corbusier's inspiration of little boxes. And this print scores an 82 and is a silver award. That is absolutely fantastic. Clay, Laurie, would you like to go ahead, Laurie? Go on.
I just wanted to congratulate the photographer in getting some beautiful detail in those dark areas. You can really see into that picture, and it's a wonderful tribute to, God rest his soul, I think it was Michael Wolf? Yeah, so, photographing these areas, there's just, it's beautifully captured. The only thing that I would suggest, though, if they were going to revisit this image for APPA, is maybe get a ruler on there and have a look at those vertical lines. I wasn't sure, so I can't be absolutely sure about yeah, maybe throw that line on there and give it a go.
Super quick, Peter.
Lose the caption.
Thank you. We will have the next print, please. This image was taken on the corner of Hindley Street and West Terrace. It is a single capture shot through a neon convenience store sign. It is part of an ongoing personal series of images shot through found glass that layer both inward, surface and reflective planes of composition. This image was taken on the corner of Hindley Street and West Terrace. It is a single capture shot through a neon convenience store sign. It is part of an ongoing personal series of images shot through found glass that layer both inward, surface and reflective planes of composition. We are judging the illustrative category at the 2019 AIPP EPSON SANT Professional Photography Awards, proudly sponsored by Panasonic. And also very appreciative of Malcolm for hosting us at Marden Senior College. And this print scores a 77. Now, I would love to get a comment, please, from Mark.
Yeah, conceptually, it's a terrific conceptual project. As far as superior visual communication at an awards level, while the composition's nice, the colour tone's nice, the complementing colours, everything is working for it, but it just doesn't communicate enough of the story of the environment to really get it over into that awards range.
All right, thank you very much for that. And we will have the next print, please. Gary, can you quickly do this one for me? We should have done that at the first one, but that's okay. Never mind. When you thought about that now, no, I know which was for. It's been tough. This print scores 81 and is a silver award. Fantastic. Congratulations to the photographer. And I would love to get a comment. George, please, would you?
Yeah, well done to the photographer. I think it's a great concept. For me to bring this up further, it just needed a real central point of view that held your attention. It's a bit flat and a bit confusing. There's nothing that really draws me to one point. So maybe looking at simplifying it a little bit more and directing the viewer's eye.
Thank you very much for that, Gary. You can hop off. Peter, pop back on for me, please. And we will have the next print, please. Bender, can you hop on for this one, please? In 2. leave Bender on for a while now. Oh. This print scores 82 and is a silver award. Congratulations to the photographer. Laurie, did you want to grab a comment there? Thank you.
Yeah, I think this is really beautiful. I wanted to award the photographer for the blacks in there that are so well printed. Just if you're going to be exploring this, maybe have a look at. You've got movement in the gown, and yet the hair's quite still. So maybe to add to this, have a look at continuing that movement on. If you're exploring this sort of story.
Really, really quickly, George.
Yeah, just also look at the lighting as well. Look at different angles of light to improve it.
Thank you. So Bender, thank you very much. So Bender, hop back on. Mark, can you come back in, please? And we will have the next print, please. This image was taken at the Port Adelaide Wharf. It is a single capture shot through the windows of the lighthouse. It is part of an ongoing personal series of images shot through found glass that layer both inward, surface and reflective planes of composition. This image scores a 78. And I do have a challenge from Clay. You absolutely can, Clay, on 83. So you've got a 76, 77, 76 and a 76. Take it away.
Oh, okay. I got a lot of hard work. Yeah, look, I clearly, no, I won't say that because I'll get in trouble. It's a really outstanding composition, and I think I'm still tricked by the inside and the outside, and in some ways, it almost look like, apart from the guy in the window, it could be in Iraq or somewhere or other. It has this very strong dramatic feel, and I think what I'm rewarding is what the photographer has seen here, and then executed it with quite complex shapes and light and dark, and able to handle that composition, but still come up with a really absorbing image. So look, I sat at 83. I probably would have liked to have gone a bit higher, hoping I wasn't going to get left out on the limb. But I guess I'd like you to have a look at it again and have a rethink in context of what I'm talking about. But thank you,
George. A comment from you, please.
Yeah, at first it's quite a nice image. I would encourage the photographer to keep exploring this seek and find. I think with this image, the subject really let me down. It looked a bit forced and directed, rather than captured spontaneous moments, as well as the printing of the highlights and the details. Just remember to keep the details in that.
Okay, so you do have a right of reply, Clay.
Yeah, I guess I'm not hearing anything that really shoots my argument down that it's a strongly composed, and I think what I'm rewarding is what the photographer has seen and managed to extract out of it. I'm not saying I didn't give it high distinction or gold or anything like that, but what I'm just trying to reward the photographer what they've seen in the image.
Okay, well, Clay, you will hold on 83 if everyone else can please rescore. And this print scores a 79. So fantastic feedback for the photographer. So thank you very much for that. And we're going to have a judge change. Okay. So we're going to have just a quick judge change. Mark, if you can hop off. And Gary, I might just need you for this one, please. And we will have the next print, please. No, I need to take George off. So I'm going to have to keep Gary on there. Yeah, I'll keep Gary. I have to keep Gary on. This print scores a 78. Gary, can I get a comment from you, please?
Yeah, look, I think we've got a case of a colour palette that is so strong, it's kind of competing quite heavily with the nighttime element idea. I was at 75 and I wanted to feel like night, but it kind of jarred with me with the blues and the pinks. So the two things were in friction and it didn't quite come across as night. It came across as it's something different to me. That was all.
Okay, thank you very much for that. So, Gary, can I keep you on for a little bit? Okay, so George, if I can get you to hop off, and G Greenslade, can you join us, please? And we will have the next print, please. This print scores a 78. This print scores a 78. And you're happy with that? Yes. And Gary, I would love to get a comment from you, please.
I had this in the good professional practice range. You know, in terms of these sort of pictures of animals like this, if you want to tell a behavioural story, it's kind of got to be stronger to go into an awards range. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for that. So can we have the next print, please? this print scores a 78. And we're all happy with that one. Okay. And G, I would love to get a comment from you. No?
Challenge. You want to? Yeah, I can.
Okay. It scores 78.
I'm on 86, yeah.
Okay, we've got the wrong name, sorry.
Oh, have we? We swapped.
Yeah.
That was probably my fault. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I was like, sorry. That's
Okay.
That's all right. My apologies, everybody.
That's okay. That's right. Okay, so we just leave the names as they are? Yep.
Okay.
All right, so we will go ahead and challenge that one. Thank you, G.
Hi, my name's Laurie. Look, for me, this one hit me right in the guts, and it's because I can see why judges won't quite get this. She is awkward as heck. She's, it looks so posed and so staged, but this girl, I know her. I really do. I go in there's this tiny little hint of the glasses on the edge, and instantly we actually kind of know what her face looks like because of those glasses. We know that there's this, we know that she's going to be so socially awkward. We know that she's really different. We know that she's probably not wanting to pose for the normal photograph. She's chucked all that stuff in there because it's probably, she thinks she's being edgy and cool, and I love that. This really speaks to me about youth. This really speaks to me about trying to fit in and not fitting in. This speaks to me, there's these awkward colours in the background, there's awkwardness. Her hair is so beautiful, you can reach out and touch it. There is so much about this that is just stunning. And I really think it deserves an award.
So, Gary, I'm going to throw to you for comment, please.
Like you, G, I was as distressed and disturbed about, the concept too, about there's nothing worse than seeing someone's been shoved in a cupboard. But it's bright and punchy and commercial and super syrupy and light and airy. I didn't get, I can't think of anything worse than putting someone in a cupboard that's a cage. I got all of those things, but the communication of that depressing scenario didn't come through in how it was lit. So those two concepts had some conflict for me. That was all. Yeah, so.
Gee, I'm going to go, Clay, did you want to give a quick comment?
Just quickly, I'm glad you challenged it, or got challenged, because it's really interesting to hear your perspective on it, because I couldn't get past what your initial comments were, was it was relatively contrived and set up. And but I can I want to reward it and go further with it. So I'm really listening to what you say, but I'm still just struggling that message that you see in it, I'm still struggling to grasp that a little bit. But please reply.
Gee,
Okay.
I'm going to go back to your right of reply.
Gary, I think you missed what I was saying when I was talking about it is awkward. She is awkward, and she's so damn fine with that. She put herself in that cupboard. That door is open. And it's very deliberately open. We can see it on the edge. She has walked in there and she's made this shape herself. She has made herself on the outer, and she's so cool with that. It is not a depressing print. The colours are not conveying depressing. And I wasn't saying that, I wasn't saying it's distressing. I'd never said it was distressed. I just said it's awkward. Everything about this is awkward, and how many of us feel awkward in general. And so this really speaks to youth. It speaks to fitting in. It speaks to being awkward and weird and strange. Awarded.
Well, G, you will hold on your score of 86, and everyone else please rescore. We have come up to 80 and a silver award. Well done. Fantastic conversation to be had. That's wonderful. And we will have the next print, please. Yes. That last one had a caption too. This has just been really tough. This has been really tough. This is an average of 85, but majority 84. So we are at a good, solid silver award. Guys, I'm hearing your pain. I'm hearing your pain. So look, a great silver award, Laurie. Yes, you certainly can.
Damn. Yeah, from back here, you get a sense of this spirit. I saw skeletons, and you get in there. So well done to the photographer, because you've really captured a sense of spirit and that dream time sort of feeling to it. So well done.
Thank you very much for that comment. And we will have the next print, please. George, can I get you on for this one, please? I don't think I've ever had one so tough. I've got to be honest. Just need someone to hit the on button. Can someone hit the on button for the AC, please, at the door? Over here at the door. And this print scores a 78. Now, can I get a comment from Gary, please?
Yeah, I saw good professional practice, really. I went looking for something else in there to hold me together, but at the end of the day, an interesting object. Perhaps something more could have been made of it in an illustrative sense. And the reflection, I'm not sure, really contributes much more than just a pure reflection. So I was trying to find some more elements in there to hold me up to go into a high scoring range.
All right, thank you very much for that. So, George, do you want to swap back with G? G, you happy to come back again? Okay, and I was going to do a judge change, but I will do it now. So Peter, if you can hop off for me, please. Actually, and George, so if you can hop back on in Peter's spot, that'd be great. And we will have the next print, please. Okay, so just swap. So Peter's off. George is on. And the title is Abandoned. This print scores 80 and is a silver award. Fantastic. Congratulations, photographer. And I would love to have a comment. Actually, Clay, would you like to give a comment to this one?
Yeah, I scored 83. I think it's something that photographers can do really well is see a shot. And like I can imagine this being surrounded by a car park or who knows what, but see something really simple in design and elements and put them together and they make a great image. So I applaud the photographer for it.
Really quick, G.
I just wanted to make the quickest comment ever, which was please take away the title from this piece because the shadow is actually talking to the shopping trolley. And so the moment that that came into it abandoned, it completely lost the story.
Thank you for that. We will have the next print, please. And this print scores a 78. And could I get a comment, Laurie, please?
Look, I think it's got a very painterly feel to it. Maybe the communication isn't as clear as I would have liked. It is in professional practice, but to take it up to the next level, perhaps something a little bit more that gives you some kind of communication about what we're looking at.
All right, thank you very much for that. And can we have the next print, please? The single capture image was shot through the windows of a dormant van. It was shot on Kodak Porter 400 and printed using a Durst color enlarger. It is part of an ongoing personal series of images shot through found glass that layer both inward, surface and reflective planes of composition. All right, so just don't accept this one, just leave it. Okay, we'll just go blank screen. Okay. This print scores 81 and is a silver award. That's absolutely fantastic. Well done. Congratulations to the photographer. I would love to get a comment from G.
You know, I actually struggled with this and then I just went, gosh, this is such a good, honest photo in regards to the colour and the little bits of story that come out, the little car coming up the road, the bits and pieces, the fabric. You can feel the cold night and the people inside it, you know, where they're at. So I really rewarded that. It was beautiful. The 3 images as well. So beautiful work.
That's fantastic. Thank you. And can we have the next print, please? And that brings us to the end of the illustrative category. Thank you very much, judges. That was a big category. Great work. Thank you very much. And we will take a quick break before we get into the portrait category. Thank you all.